welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. This video is going to be a basic rundown of the parts you'll need to build your own lightsaber. We're not going to go into too much depth and too much detail with all the different kinds of parts that you could get. There's tons of stuff out there. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with the most basic saber possible, the most inexpensive and quality metal saber, and we're going to show you the parts that you're going to need to build it, and then maybe some things to kind of accent it, upgrade it, and make it your own. So we'll get started really quickly with some parts that I've picked out that I want to show you. Okay, we're going to move pretty quick through this, but the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out what type of saber it is that you're building. Basic, inexpensive saber, you've got a what we call a belt hanger, or a saber that basically just hangs on your belt or sits on a shelf. It doesn't actually do anything. From that, you've got a basic stunt saber, which I'm going to show you some parts for. Something similar to my my Ascend saber here. It's a basic stunt saber. It switches on, and you can put a blade in it. But there's no sound or anything like that. You can fight with it all the way up to a really high-end custom, something like this. There's some of these parts are parts from the custom saber shop, which I'm going to show you that you can learn to monkey with and upgrade and make your own. Essentially, when you're building a saber, you only need a couple of key parts. Now, these are all parts you see here, most of them from the custom saber shop. If you want to go check it out right now, www.thecustomsabershop.com. They have literally everything you're going to need for building your own lightsaber. All different kinds of lightsabers. So here are an example of a couple of blade holders. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of construct a little saber. You've got a blade holder like that, a blade holder like that. What does a blade holder do? You guessed it, it holds the blade. This is an example of a 1-inch blade material. Imagine this, but 36 inches long. Well, that fits in perfectly, and it's held in there. You're going to have to drill a hole through there and then install a screw to drill and tap it so that it holds your blade in tight. That's a service that's also offered by the Custom Saber Shop. You can request that specially when you order a blade holder. So you've got a blade holder. Well, let's use this one. With the blade holder is also going to come a heat sink and a lens adapter. We'll show you how those work later, but that basically just slides into there. Everything threads together, which is nice. Now, in the middle part of your saber, you've got lots of different things. You've got extensions. Now, each of these are female threaded, both ends. That's why they're called double female. So that can just screw onto your saber. You can use, there's different types. There's parts that come with grips. There are parts that come with holes already drilled for your switch. This is a really basic latching switch. For a basic saber, you're going to want a latching switch, not a momentary switch, because momentary switches just go, every time you tap it, it goes on, and then when you release it, it comes off. A latching switch, you can hear it clicks. Now it stays on, clicks again, comes off. So some of these body parts at the Custom Saber Shop have holes already drilled where you can just mount your switch perfectly in there. You have different body parts that have male threads on the ends and windows in the middle so you can see the electronics or even a crystal inside. You can get them powder coated. This one's solar flat black, different colors, all kinds of things that you can get done at the Custom Saber Shop. It's awesome. Then you're going to need, on this end of things, you're going to need a pommel. Here's an example of a couple of pommels. These do not have the inserts in them. They're little discs that fit in that finish off the pommel. They screw on. There you go. That's the basic parts for a saber. So you can go to Custom Saber Shop right now and you can mix and match and get a look of a decent saber, and these parts are going to run you easily under $100. If you want to go even cheaper, you can get a blade holder at the Custom Saber Shop. You can go to Home Depot, and I'll show you what that's going to look like in a little while here. You can buy plumbing pipe, all kinds of different plumbing pipes that are usually sized by the inside diameter. This one's 1 1/4 inch. This is a part that comes from the Custom Saber Shop. I have powder coated mine gold because this is an experimental part. But this slides into the plumbing pipe, and you can drill a hole through there, screw, and then you can make the cheap plumbing pipe the body of your saber. Well, this screws into the front part of your saber. And some of the plumbing pipe that you get even comes with screw-on caps on the end that serve as a pommel. So it's a very inexpensive way of building a chrome saber that has a proper blade holder, and you can drill your own hole for your switch. You can screw on your pommel on the end. You could do a saber for under $50 for that. You can also buy, this is PVC pipe. You can buy it at Home Depot, and you can cut out your own shapes and get that to slide on, and you can make shrouds and then paint it whatever color you want. You can also buy Shroud Material. This is a cutoff of a piece of Shroud Material, which is aluminum. You can get it at the Custom Saber Shop, and it's designed to be the exact right size to fit over these pieces. You can cut that whatever dimensions you want. You can sand it up, polish it. You can sometimes find on eBay and places like that, you can find replica Graflex clamps. What I've done is I've taken this Graflex clamp, and in order to make it work with the custom Saber shop parts, I've actually made a sleeve inside of this, which is, again, just plumbing material, plumbing pipe. It's a sleeve of brass. You can get, and I believe this is 22 gauge. I'm not exactly sure, but it's the common type that's used that you get at Home Depot. This also slides perfectly over custom Saber shop parts. So you can use a Dremel, cut out different designs, and make an overlay and a shroud. You can buy switch boxes at the custom Saber shop that can mount on different parts of your Saber. So as you're beginning to see, there are a billion different things that you can do for the body of the Saber. Now for the internals of the Saber, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need, remember I showed you the part in this that holds the lens? You're going to need basic soldering skills. Here's your LED. You're going to need to buy an LED, and you can get some double-sided tape that comes from the custom Saber shop, and it will mount this right there. The holes line up so that you can run your wires through those holes. That's your LED. You're also going to need a lens. The lens looks like this. This is a 5-degree lens. I like it for some color mixing. I also use the 8-degree lens. Lens fits on there, but it doesn't stay on there, so you're going to need a lens holder. And these things just snap together. They're made to go together. So sometimes you have to monkey with it to get it to fit just right. This is the kind that I'm going to need to monkey with. So I'm not going to worry about that today. But you get it, once you get it to snap in place, this fits on top of your LED, which fits in here. The whole thing lines up in there. You screw it together. You've got your lens holder, your LED, wires coming out through these channels, and that goes into your blade holder. Pretty simple. And then from there you're going to have to wire your switch. You also have to wire it to a battery pack. You need to know what kind of voltage you're going to need for your LED. Some LEDs work with, say, 2.3 volts. Other LEDs require 3.8 volts. So you're going to need to learn that, whatever color you've got with the voltage is. If you're going to put alkaline batteries in, 1.5 each, you're going to get 3 volts out of this. It's not going to be enough for some LEDs. This one holds 4 AA batteries. Again, these are really basic parts that are really simple. They actually slide inside. This one is a tight fit. But you could figure out and mix and match the parts that you're going to need for your Saber. So a basic Saber, that's all you need to do. I'm not going to show you any more than that. The best thing to do is just start experimenting. Get some things from the custom Saber shop, get some things from Home Depot, and just try putting things together and see what you come up with. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I found at places like Home Depot that are really great for accenting Sabers or finishing touches or little nooks and crannies inside. So we'll do that next. In the fluorescent lighting tube section, these things work perfectly to insulate the electronics from the inside of the MHS parts. They actually slide in perfectly to the double female sections. Small zap straps to keep your wiring tidy. You can wrap around wires, parts of the chassis, and make them really tight. Favorite aisle. It's got all little greeblies, everything from grommets to set screws. I use a lot of these 632 set screws inside all your parts. All kinds of stuff in here. You've got Chicago screw extensions. These things are great for chassis because they thread together, 832 threaded. And then you got your little brass screws for Sabers that call for brass. And these things are a personal favorite of mine for inside chassis holding crystals. Little brass parts, all kinds of stuff like this at Home Depot Greeblies section. This is actually an offshoot of the electrical section. This is not plumbing pipe, this is electrical conduit. This is where I get all my PVC tubing. You can buy it in long lengths, then you can cut it down and machine it with your Dremel. There's also a whole bunch of all kinds of interesting little ends and doodads and bits that can be adapted to use in the Saber. Electrical conduit, that's your key words. In the plumbing section you get all kinds of little tubes and pipes. This polyethylene shows light really well, and you get even the clear stuff. You can buy small lengths of that and just cut off little slivers, and you can make custom washers made of rubber, and it's really cheap. This is a brass sink tube. This is what you need if you want to do custom overlays and cut them with your Dremel. Brass sink tube. I'm going to build a curved saber, plumbing pipe, just about anything. Different chrome pieces. You can build a really cheap saber with this plumbing pipe. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching this time. We got other videos showing you more and more complex things as we go. Remember, when you're shopping for saber parts, experiment. You're going to learn by doing. You're going to have to figure out maybe something for the first time, what two parts fit together. You wouldn't be the first one to design a prop from the craziest thing that you found at a garage sale that ends up working for a lightsaber.